Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday. Welcome back, or welcome if you are here from Lisa's channel. Today is the day where I get to share one of my personal favorite videos of the season, and it's my seasonal Scentsy recommendations collab that I do alongside my bestie, Lisa Rowberry. If you have been here on my channel for any amount of time, you are already super familiar with the name Lisa Rowberry. I talk about her quite a bit. Lisa and I actually originally connected here on YouTube, so we met through this platform. She was a subscriber of mine, and like we would just kind of talk back and forth in the comments for like the first little bit, and eventually I was like, I really feel like I have a connection with this person, which is so weird, right? But anyway, we eventually ended up exchanging phone numbers, and then we also discovered the world of messaging apps. So now we basically just message each other every single day on WhatsApp. I don't think there's a day that goes by that Lisa and I don't have some form of communication. I live in Oregon. She now lives in Idaho, so we're not that far apart, but it's just far enough apart where it's like inconvenient to get together super frequently, especially since I have a kid and she's in sports, so she's usually super busy. But I still consider Lisa one of my best friends and one of the most important people in my life, even though I don't get to see her on a daily basis. She's just a wonderful human being, and I just want to stress that so much because I think it's really hard, especially here on YouTube, to sometimes find really genuine, honest people, and she's one of those people who, like, she doesn't BS you. She's just very upfront and open and honest, and that's just one of the things that I really appreciate about people, especially as I am getting on in age. I just really value that in the people that I have in my life. My circle is a little bit smaller like the older I get, but I feel like there's more quality people, and Lisa is definitely just one of those quality people. So if you already have a Scentsy consultant, continue shopping with them. But if you are looking for more Scentsy content here on YouTube, Lisa has a fabulous channel where she shares all of the latest launches, all of the sale information. Like, she is just on top of it. And she presents information in a really clear and concise way that I think a lot of people really appreciate. So if you haven't already subscribed to Lisa, go subscribe to her. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased. I think she is, I don't know, she's one of the great loves of my life. I can't imagine my life without her, and I'm just so thankful that this weird old YouTube platform brought us together, and we love doing these seasonal collabs. So we will have another one coming up here very shortly for the holidays, but today's video is focused on just the fall recommendations. So we are going to be sharing our top 6 plus one bonus bar. She did tell me that she ended up adding a bonus bar, and I was like, okay, well, I'm glad you told me, because I was thinking about doing that too. So we don't tell each other what we're picking, so it's always kind of fun to see like what the selections are from each of us. We have very similar tastes, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little overlap, but hopefully between the two of us, you can get some really great recommendations to check out for the fall. Personally, I find Scentsy wax to be the best performing. I've tried a fair amount of vendor wax, and I've tried wax melts from Fred Meyer, from Target, from Walmart, and I just really like the fact that Scentsy lasts longer than a lot of those other wax companies do that I've tried in the past. As someone who's a little lazy when it comes to wanting to switch out wax on a daily basis, Scentsy is perfect for me because I can usually easily get 2-3 days. After about 3 days, the fragrance starts to die down, obviously, but I'm good with 3 days. If I can get a good solid 3 days of a good solid strength and throw, I feel like that's perfect. But anyway, we are also going to be sharing our favorite seasonal warmer. I will be showing you the warmer in the location where it's currently living its best life for the fall. So I will do that at the end of the video, but let's go ahead and dive in with my recommendations. I do have my rusty trusty catalog that Lisa sends my way every single season. If you are one of Lisa's customers, This lady sends out hundreds and hundreds of catalogs at the start of every single season. She is so dedicated to this. I love it. So anyway, I love having these to actually physically look through. Most of my recommendations are currently in the catalog. I am sad to say that I just looked online because 2 of my recommendations are in a collection. They are sold out, but put your name down and Scentsy will email you when they are back in stock. So yeah, the Gordy Goodness collection, fabulous collection, but unfortunately it's out of stock right now. But my fingers are crossed that they're gonna bring it back. So listen, fall has just started. There's no reason for them to not bring it back. Anyway, if you're new, this is Alf. He is my constant sidekick and companion. If you know Lisa, you know that she has absolutely enormous dogs. Lisa is a German Shepherd lady. I'm the crazy pug lady. So we also share a love of dogs to boot. So, except we're on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to size preference. I would love a bigger dog, but Craig is like, absolutely not. I am not picking up human-sized turds. So anyway, got my little guy over here. He makes turds that are much smaller. TMI. Anyway, let's dig into it, you guys. I am so excited to get started. I will save my bonus pick for last, obviously. Okay, the very first one is, of course, from the Gordy Goodness collection. By the way, the last time that I shared a Scentsy haul, I called it the Goody Goodness collection. And the reason that I called it the Goody Goodness collection, let me just say in my defense, so I had texted Lisa and I was like, hey, which of these bars that I ordered were from the different collections? Because they were all just, you know, put into like one giant box essentially. And so her phone auto-corrected Gordy to Goody and she didn't realize it. So I was just reading what Lisa had sent me. So it's Lisa's fault. Anyway, from the Gordy Goodness collection, we have Berry Good Pumpkin. Oh my gosh, you guys. Have you smelled this? Oh, delightful. All right, I had to write the fragrance notes on the back of my little booklet here, so bear with me. Pumpkin, spiced berries, and autumn spices. I love this so much. Listen, I think, so berry scents really for me are mostly like a summertime thing. If you're new around here, I'm a very seasonal home fragrance consumer. So I don't like a lot of summery scents, for example, in the fall. To me, berries are definitely a summertime thing. But in here, when they are added to that beautiful pumpkin, and then those autumn spices, they're so good. They bring the sweetness to this fragrance. This is heavenly, you guys. I feel like the berry notes that I'm getting here are definitely like the darker berries. So like a blackberry, maybe even like a raspberry. I don't think there's any strawberry in here and I don't really detect blueberry, but I think raspberry and blackberry would be the 2 berries that I think are most prominent. And the autumn spices, listen, the perfect amount of cinnamon, just a touch of like a nutmeg in here. It's not overly spicy. It's just beautiful. I really like this one. If you like berry pumpkin waffles from Homeworks, it's that same type of berry component in here. So good. This obviously doesn't have like that, like, gourmandy like waffle note that you get in the berry pumpkin waffles, but in terms of the berry, so good. I love this one. I think it's borderline. Ugh, I don't really have any room in my club, but I really kind of feel like this one might be club worthy. I think it might be. It needs to come back in stock first though, so if we could, Scentsy, if we could get going on that, that'd be great. Okay, next is a classic, and I'm gonna bet that this is in Lisa's video too. It's Cider Mill. Lisa loves her some Cider Mill, and occasionally I will also pop this one into my favorites as well for the fall. I don't think that I did last year, but the fragrance notes for Cider Mills are fresh apples, crushed pumpkin, and simmering spices. Listen, it's a pretty basic cider scent, but it's really well done. It's got that perfect amount of sweetness from the apples. It's a very juicy, very sweet, crisp apple. Think Macintosh, think Honeycrisp. The pumpkin isn't super noticeable. It's definitely there. And again, it's those simmering like cider spices of the cinnamon, the touch of the nutmeg, maybe a little bit of like an allspice as well. It's just delightful. I love this one. I think it's so good. So it doesn't always make it into every fall recommendations. This year it definitely did. I'm really loving the apple scents this year, you guys. Apple is usually only a thing for me during the month of September, but it might be coming into October with me. I'm not ready to give up the apples quite yet. All right, next, pumpkin sticky bun. Listen, this is also a part of the Gordy Goodness collection. Sorry about that. But if it does come back into stock, I'm telling you, get it. And then I also kind of want to club this one. So, oh gosh, it's the coconut in here that really does it for me. Again, coconut is a summertime thing, right? But it's so delicious in here. Pumpkin, pecan, and coconut cream. Get out of here. This is utterly delightful. And I kind of also want to put this one in my club. I could just, like, I want to eat this. It almost smells edible. That coconut cream adds, it doesn't even add like a tropical touch. It just adds the most perfect sweet creaminess to the pumpkin and that nutty pecan note. You have to get, if you did not get this collection because it sold out, you have to sign up for it. I need this more. I need more of this. I made the mistake of only getting one of the Gordy Goodness collection. So that'll show me. All right, next we have something that is a little bit more, look, this is still like a very distinct fall, but I just think this one smells borderline masculine, and it's just really interesting to my nose that it does come across that way based on the fragrance notes. So what is it? Oh, I guess I should tell you. First day of fall. This has been out a few times, and I have to admit, the first few times that I had this, I wasn't as drawn to it as I am this year. My nose has really changed a lot in the last couple of years, and I'm actually really glad that it has, because I am now embracing things that I would have never thought to embrace in the past. So first day of fall. This is in the spice section. So just pick pumpkin. I'm giving you guys a lot of pumpkin here. Sorry, but I love my pumpkins. And the snoring is Alf. This is what you deal with when you have pugs. All right, just pick pumpkin, a breath of autumn woods, ground nutmeg, and a spicy dash of cinnamon. Okay, I think it's the wood note here that definitely makes this maybe a little bit more masculine smelling. I feel like the woodiness that I'm getting is more of like an oak type wood note. But you do have at the same time the pumpkin and those kind of typical autumnal spices. Definitely a healthy dash of cinnamon in here for sure, and the nutmeg, but I think the cinnamon is a little bit more prominent than the nutmeg in this one. But the woods note, I think it just makes this a little bit different, a little bit more unique, and almost in a way oddly perfumey, but edible at the same time with the pumpkin being there. It's just an interesting fragrance. Listen, if you've always skipped over this one because you're just like, I don't know about the woods note, or is it going to be too spicy? Listen, I think this one is worth checking out. It's really good. And it's my one slightly like different scent because we're dealing with a lot of like gourmand stuff here. Listen, that is my personal favorite category. I love anything that smells edible. Get it in my house. If it smells edible, I'm here for it. Next is Scary Good. Scary Good actually used to live in my club, but then it kind of kept getting re-released. So I took it out of my club. Hopefully it sticks around. This is one of my favorite pumpkin scents. I always thought that this one is very similar to pumpkin carving from Bath & Body Works. So let's read through. We have pumpkin puree, fresh cinnamon, toasted butterscotch, and creamy vanilla. Yes to all of it. There is definitely a butterscotch note in here, but I think it's the pumpkin that I actually like the most. It just smells like the most creamy, dreamy pumpkin note. It's absolutely perfect. Again, just the most perfect amount of autumn spices, not too much cinnamon. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. It almost smells like there is a really healthy dash of brown sugar in here. You almost get a little bit of that like molasses type note as well. It's a deeper, I would say, richer smelling pumpkin. A little bit spicy too, but not too spicy. Listen, if you've never tried Scary Good, you gotta try Scary Good. All right, and then one more pumpkin recommendation. Okay, sorry about that little interruption there. We got a delivery and Alf absolutely lost his mind. I have him settle down in my lap again, so hopefully we're good to go for the remainder of the video here. Okay, my last recommendation, which is currently available in the catalog. In fact, it's a new fragrance release for fall 2024. This is Brown Butter Pumpkin, and I'm telling you right now, I don't think this one's gonna be for everybody. So let's talk about the notes first and then we'll dive in. Okay, so melted butter, brown sugar, and pumpkin are the notes. Okay, here's the thing. This is a very rich, very sweet, very decadent, rich type of fragrance. And I do think that it could potentially come across as maybe borderline cloying to some people out there. So just be a little bit mindful and be honest with yourself about whether these really rich buttery scents are genuinely enjoyable to you. Usually with fragrances like this, I enjoy them on their own, but I actually really like these types of scents paired with other fragrances. So this is not one where I would just do brown butter pumpkin around the entire house. I feel like that would be maybe a little bit overwhelming with that molasses from the brown sugar. So I like to pair this one alongside apple fragrances. If you have Honeycrisp Harvest, you should pair that alongside this because so good. You have to try that combo. But this on its own is just very rich, very decadent. There is, again, a heavy dose of molasses in here from the brown sugar and a very rich, heavy butter note as well. And then the pumpkin is just a really nice kind of generic pureed pumpkin type note. This one's not overly spicy. I do detect just like a hint of like cinnamon in here, but that's really not the focus of this one. The focus of this fragrance is predominantly the butter and the brown sugar to my nose. And as that, I think you just want to be a little bit more mindful when adding this one to your cart. I really like it, but if you're sensitive, it might be too much for you. Now, my last recommendation comes from my club. I don't think you're going to be surprised to see it. It's Almond Croissant. Listen, Almond Croissant is almost like a year-round favorite for me from Scentsy, but this one really shines in the fall. I find that this particular scent, for whatever reason, pairs well with so many of the other fall fragrances that I have going. This is the richest, most delicious, most authentic croissant with an almond accent that I have ever smelled in my entire life. It is buttery, it's flaky. It's almost like there's like a little layer of marzipan right in the middle of your croissant, your buttery, flaky, perfect croissant. I have nothing bad to say about this fragrance. The only bad thing that I have to say about Scentsy Almond Croissant is that I am personally very annoyed that it has not come back for Bring Back My Bar voting. The day that this ever comes back for a Bring Back My Bar, I will probably place an order for like 50 of them. That is how much I love this fragrance. Now, it's in my club. I think I have 2 bars that come on a quarterly basis. So I have a little bit of a stash. I think I have about maybe 8 to 10 bars of this at any given time. I don't use it too terribly often because obviously, you know, my access to it is limited right now. But I tell you what, if it does ever come back, it will be one of those bars where I will just buy a boatload of it, and then again, continue to keep it in my club, and then I will just start using it all the time. But I do think it's especially good during the fall. So if you happen to have this one in your club, bust it out. It's so good. I like this one around Christmas too, so don't be surprised if it comes back for the Christmas version of this video. Okay, lastly, I want to show you guys my favorite warmer. Now, this is a new fall warmer this year. I wanted to show you where it lives its life right now. So I'm actually going to take you over to where this warmer lives, and we're going to check it out over there. All right, here she is. This is my top recommendation for a fall warmer from Scentsy this year. It is the Sweet Fall Warmer. And I'm telling you right now, the pictures online do not do it justice. This warmer is absolutely stunning in person. So if you have a local consultant, ask if they have one of these on hand and go check it out in person. It is beautiful. It has the most lovely bronze shimmer. I'm gonna try to kind of get you guys a little bit closer here so that you can maybe see some of those details. Yeah, my camera is not really doing it justice either, but it just has the most wonderful glow to it. The little dish on the top is brown, so it kind of diffuses the light just a little bit, and it just gives off the most perfect glow. If you have some different colored bulbs, I bet that they would look stunning in this, but I don't know. I always prefer the regular bulbs, but you could definitely change up the look of this one really easily. The background is opaque, and then the leaves themselves are basically completely translucent. So again, it gives off the most lovely glow, especially at night. I couldn't believe when I unwrapped this one. I thought it was pretty online, but when I got it in person, I was like, oh, I'm really glad that I got this. So anyway, that is my warmer suggestion to you for fall 2024 if you are in the market for a new warmer. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Lisa and I love sharing this collab on a seasonal basis, and we would also like to know what your favorites are for the current fall season. So leave your suggestions in the comments down below. If you are not already subscribed to Lisa, you got to go check her out. Like I said, she's just a wonderful human being, and outside of that, she also just gives a lot of great information on Scentsy if that is something that you're interested in. If you're new here from Lisa's channel, listen, I'm a huge sucker for home fragrance. I don't just exclusively use Scentsy, I do use a lot of candles as well. So if you are just generally a fan of home fragrance, boy, do I have some videos for you. So anyway, I hope that you'll take the time to subscribe, and to all of my existing subscribers, you guys are the best. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.